to the Kia Hyundai channel. My name is Gabi.
I'm Charlotte.
And I'm Wes.
And this is the 2024 or 2023, Wes lied to us today.
Sorry guys.
Hyundai Palisade Urban. Now, although this model shown is a 2023, we're going to talk about the 2024 because there's only one small difference between these two models. Wes, what is it?
Yeah, so the couple cosmetic items on the outside. The door handles go from a satin/brushed look to an actual body color matching. So that'd be the main differences on the exterior. Everything else for the Urban kind of remains the same.
So tech, features, and overall style of the vehicle is unchanged, which we're happy to say. And we also have some exciting news. We have some available.
Yes, so we have a couple that are inbound, as well as this one is our current test drive unit, so it is currently available as well. So if you are interested and in the market,
contact us.
Absolutely.
You can actually work with Wes. He's one of the sales associates at Brantford Hyundai. So if you want to take this vehicle home or the other inbound one coming, here's your chance. You can get a car like normal.
Absolutely. And after we film it though. Now with that being said, we're going to give you a full walkthrough of this vehicle and everything that the urban trim of the Palisade has to offer. And I do have to say, this is considered a base model trim for the Palisade. There's only two to choose from, right?
Yeah, this year and 23 and 24, it is basically your urban spec or your calligraphy spec. So incredibly well equipped for a quote unquote base model.
Yeah.
So.
One peek inside, even on peek on the outside, you wouldn't think this is a base. There's nothing basic about it, and that's why we're going to give you a walkthrough. Charlotte?
All right, so for those of you who are watching in the future, this is a live streamed video, so feel free to skip ahead to the 3-minute mark. That's when we're really going to get into this walkthrough. For those of you who are stuck with us in real time, you already know there are 3 different reasons why we do these videos. The first reason is for those of you who own Kia or Hyundai product. We want you to be the experts on your own vehicles, which is why we do tips and tricks, walkthroughs, reviews, shows you what all of those features do. The next reason is for those of you who are searching to purchase a new vehicle or a pre-owned vehicle. Why not consider Kia and Hyundai? Take a look at this base model and you'll see that they have done some really cool stuff in the past couple years. The third reason, of course, is that if you live in Ontario, which is in Canada, we would love to be the ones to put you into your new Kia or Hyundai. So if you are looking for Kia, myself and Gabi are here at Brantford Kia, and then we also have Wes at Brantford Hyundai, and we also have another Hyundai store, Owen Sound Hyundai, which is a little bit up north from us.
All right, with that being said, I think we should get into it. I'm going to tackle the exterior of the vehicle. Charlotte's going to do the interior. Wes is going to do the camera work and provide some
some nice commentary.
Yes, very great commentary.
There you go, my friend.
Thank you.
All right, first things first.
I apologize in advance for my camera work. I'm still learning.
First things first, we're going to turn on the headlights for this vehicle because, boy, are they bright.
Switch this around.
Okay. So, taking a look at the front grille, one thing I love about the Urban is the addition of this dark chrome coated grille. So when you take a closer look, you'll see that it's not blacked out, it's just very, very dark. So Wes, how is this different from the other Palisade, the calligraphy?
So the calligraphy will have a very similar matching to the door handles and the trim around. So it's a brushed chrome, we'll call it.
Right.
So this has just basically been blacked out, as you said. It's a personal preference of mine as well. Even if I was on a calligraphy, this is probably what I do.
Absolutely.
As well as the lower trim as well gets that nice gloss black look to it as well.
So in today's day and age where a lot of people are doing chrome deletes to their vehicle, save yourself the money, get the lower priced urban trim and get this beautiful dark chrome. I think it looks phenomenal. But of course the Palisade Ultimate Calligraphy is also quite nice. If we take a closer look at this very, very exciting to look at grille, you'll see we also have front parking sensors. So these ultrasonic sensors are going to send a beep inside the cabin so you as a driver know when you're approaching too close to another obstacle, whether it be your garage door or another car. Another thing you get is a front view camera. So this camera is going to trigger as soon as your front sensors trigger the inside of your cabin to show you just how much space. So not only do you get an audible alert, but a visual one, making a vehicle like this that's huge, really, really easy to park and maneuver. Just below that, underneath our plate bracket, we do have our front radar sensor. So this sensor is going to monitor the distance of the car ahead of you. It's going to be utilized for a couple different features. Number one is your highway drive assist and your smart cruise control. So as I'm driving, I can set my speed or have the car set it automatically because it knows the speed limit of the highway you're on and it knows when it changes. And then from there, I'll set my following distance. You get 4 different presets from closest to furthest, and those are your different car lengths. That sensor is going to make sure you're maintaining that distance and maintaining your speed. So if I inch too close, the car will slow me down all the way up to a complete stop. I absolutely love this, especially if you're someone who drives in stop and go traffic conditions. It is fantastic. And then it takes it a step further, also giving you forward collision avoidance. So if someone slams on the brakes ahead of you, your car will also stop or give emergency braking. I'm losing my voice.
It is incredibly effective as well. I've used it several times going on the highways where you have those long journeys.
Yeah.
And you get the occasional person who just likes to lane cut in front of you.
Yeah.
And it'll back them off, and then once they've either moved out of the way or gotten up to speed, you just kind of rejoin the flow of traffic.
So I, for one, live in the city, and I don't drive a Palisade, but I drive a Kia Forte that's equipped with that same safety feature. And people cut in front of you all the time. And even though I'm an attentive driver, sometimes you just need that extra eyesight. And this car truly has another eye open out for you, maintaining safe distances from everything around you. Under the hood, this is a 3.8 liter V6 gasoline engine. Now this engine has a horsepower output of 291, oh my gosh, and 262 pound-feet of torque. Now this power, it's impressive. It is very, very smooth shifting thanks to its 8-speed automatic transmission. And on top of that, we also have a great towing capacity. What's our towing capacity, Wes?
5,000 pounds.
Awesome. Now, so you get that 5,000 pounds, but you get the additional tow mode. So inside in my driver's area, I have a tow mode button where I can cycle through different menus, allowing me to choose how much of the weight capacity I'm carrying. So if it's a very light trailer, you'll have it on your light setting, or if you're using the majority of that towing capacity, you'll have it on our heavy or high setting. So this is great if you are pulling anything with your vehicle. All right, so I mentioned the horsepower, I mentioned the torque, I also mentioned our transmission. Let's talk about the all-wheel drive and the wheels. So first up, our wheels are 20-inch alloys, and this is a beautiful dark finish that matches perfectly with your front grille. This wheel design is exclusive to the urban trim level, and I absolutely love it. These wheels, again, look phenomenal, but they also tackle terrain quite nice. These are all-season tires, but with the addition of our H-TRAC all-wheel drive system, you get the option of terrain mode, so snow, mud, and sand. This vehicle is going to sense slippage and adjust the torque as needed for your all-wheel drive, or you can put it into those dedicated modes to tackle whatever terrain you are driving on, as long as it's one of those three options, I should say. All right, moving on to our door handles. As Wes said, if you are getting a 2024, this is going to be body colored, so it's going to match the paint of your vehicle perfectly. However, for 2023s, we do have this brushed aluminum or brushed chrome. I do like the look of both, but I will say I think the paint or body paint will blend in much nicer with the exterior of the vehicle, but let me know what you guys think. Up top, our roof rails are nice and smooth, so not raised roof rails like we see on the Kia Telluride, but still functional. Coming up to the back, please ignore the car is a little bit dirty, but that's why you guys should get this paint color. What's the name of the paint color, Wes?
This is the steel graphite gray.
I will say this paint hides the dirt pretty well because it's pretty dirty.
Yeah.
I don't think it's looking too bad on camera.
Not the greatest outside today. But
No. All right, so Palisade boldly written across in our chrome lettering. And then we have a power liftgate, again, on an entry-level trim. That is unheard of. Well, maybe not for Hyundai. Looking at the back over here, we have our third row raised, and you can see we have quite a good amount of usable storage space. Whenever you have a 3-row SUV, it's not going to be huge unless you're looking at a minivan, but this is still quite impressive. We utilized the Kia Telluride, which is very similar in size, to take 5 of us to the airport plus 5 of our luggages, and it worked. Underneath our floorboard, we do have our kit for our spare tire. We also have a cargo privacy cover that tucks in nice and neat when not in use. Fold that down, and you may be asking, where is the spare tire? So on a big vehicle like this, it's actually located underneath the car. I don't know if we can show you it, but it's there.
That's the floor. It's kind of there. There you go.
All right. And while we're down here, let's talk about the garnishings we have on the back. Actually, let me close this first. Thank goodness for a power liftgate. So we'll let that shut. On the very bottom, our skid plates have a more aggressive design, so as opposed to the calligraphy, which is going to look a little bit more, I want to say polished and a bit more fancy, if that makes sense. The Urban's going to take things a bit more city and sleek. So we got some dark finishes. We have our ultrasonic sensors along the rear bumper as well, which is quite nice. Our taillights are LEDs, just like our headlights, so nice and bright. And we have our third mounted brake light right up top, which is also an LED. So lots of visuals. This vehicle is huge. I will say the Palisade is a big machine, but I think it carries itself quite nicely. As a shorter driver, I do find visibility not to be an issue in this vehicle at all. And then of course, with our additional safety features, it helps a lot. So one of those safety features I want to talk about is the surround view monitor. On the bottom of our mirrors, you'll see we do have a camera, and that's on both mirrors, of course. And that is going to be utilized with our rear camera and our front camera to give you a full 360 view of everything around you. So that's when you're parking. But when you're driving, as soon as I indicate a turn, whether left or right, to change lanes, or just to make a full-on turn, it's going to show me a live camera feed of whatever is in my blind spot. And that is absolutely, I don't know, it's almost a must-have for me. Even though I don't have it in my car, it is so nice to have on a bigger vehicle like this. Something a lot of people don't think about until they use it is if you're parallel parking this vehicle, that camera is going to show you just how close you are to the curb, so you don't have to worry about scuffing these beautiful wheels. All right, so that was a lot of talking. Charlotte, do you think you're ready to tackle the interior?
Oh yeah,
All right.
do it.
Let's do a microphone handoff.
Thank you. Hopefully not too much static. This is your warning. You've been warned. You've been warned. Okay, hopefully we're in the clear. All right, now I have the awesome opportunity to go and walk you guys through the interior. I think Gabby and Wes did an excellent job showing the outside and talking about some of the key differences that we're going to see. Now in the 24, the cabin is largely going to stay the same. We're not really seeing any differences, but take a look at this beautiful interior color. And Wes, do you know the name of this interior color?
It's mainly just listed as like a gray option for the option.
Perfect.
When you actually see it in person, it's not really picking it up too well on camera. It's more of a bluish gray, and it flows so nicely with the actual exterior color. This in the Urban is my favorite spec as far as what you could order.
I'm also a sucker for anything that's not a black interior, except for a black headliner. That I do like. But let's take a look at some of the features we have in some of the other design elements. So if you take a look at the driver's door, you can see on there we have a little bit of faux carbon fiber detailing. We still have some of that soft touch leather. And we also have a premium sound system in this vehicle. We have Harmon Kardon, and we've got 12 speakers peppered throughout this vehicle. So you know that when you sit in here, you're going to have a fun sound experience. For some of the other key features that we have is we do have memory seats. So you are able to set not one, not two, not three, but 4 total combinations for your memory seats, 2 for each driver profile. Moving down, of course, you're going to have your mirror controls, also windows, and you do have express windows in the front for the driver and for the passenger. Now, something I absolutely love is the seats in this vehicle. Not only are they heated and ventilated, but check out how many ways there are to adjust them. So we have an 8-way power adjustable seat with 4-way lumbar support, and we also have the knee extender. So if you are someone who is taller, if you are someone who is shorter, you are going to, I guarantee you, you are going to find a comfortable seating position in this vehicle. And for the passenger, is you're still getting that 8-way power adjustable seat just without the knee extender and the lumbar support. So you know that wherever you're seated, you're going to be so comfortable. Let's take a look at this side. So over here is we do have our brightness adjuster for our digital instrument cluster. Now this vehicle also has dedicated tow mode. I believe Gabby mentioned at the rear, this vehicle has self-leveling rear suspension. It's got dedicated tow mode. It's all-wheel drive. But what this is going to do is it's going to change pretty much the shift mapping of the vehicle depending on the weight that you are towing with that 5,000-pound towing capacity. Also, we have traction control, your control for your tailgate, and your electronic parking brake. Perfect. So I think, Wes, why don't you come on over and join me in the passenger seat?
Sounds good. Do you want me to pass this to you? Or
No, you can bring it around. Right. Give the people a look at the front.
We're going for a little walk here. It's a little bit wide. Okay. All right.
And welcome.
Oh, such a nice place to be.
Oh, isn't it a great cabin? Isn't
Absolutely.
it so spacious?
And just comfortable.
Yeah, it's nice to have someone who's taller, who has way more like height credibility than me when I talk about space. So, but let's take a look at some of the tech and features we have. First thing right off the bat, you've probably seen our dual 12.3-inch screens. So we have a digital infotainment and digital gauge cluster, which of course you're able to cycle through your various different menus, digital speedometer, digital tachometer. You can see your power distribution through all-wheel drive. We also have some fun and sporty paddle shifters, and I love it when we're able to include paddle shifters in these vehicles, especially when we have a button shift by wire, because you can't knock it into manual if you want to manually gear down, you know, as manual as you can in an automatic vehicle. But also when it comes to your steering wheel, it's super comfortable. You've got an extra spoke at the bottom, and it's leather wrapped and fully heated, which is an essential for Canadian winters. Mm-hmm. Up top, we still have our typical media controls, so your virtual assistant, volume, channel surfing, media modes, and then also your driving controls for navigation-based smart cruise control, lane keep assist, lane follow assist, everything that we have seen before. Up top, let's talk about some of the features that we have in our infotainment center. So items that I love that the Palisade is equipped with, especially because it is so big, is going to be passenger talk, because this is kind of like the vehicle's intercom system. So I'm able to speak at regular volume, and those in the backseat are still able to hear me. It's going to be projected throughout the speaker. We also have quiet mode, so if you have people in the backseat who are taking a little bit of a snooze, let them. Were you going to say something?
It's very helpful when there's the little ones that are in the car.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, we're so cool, aren't we? We talk about cars and kids. Now, something that is great is you do have rear climate, and from here you are able to control it and lock it, and we'll show you those controls when we move into the back seat too. Now, I will show you just quick to go to setup and how to adjust for your different tow modes. So depending on the weight that you are towing, if you head into your settings and go to drive modes, you can adjust it if you're towing a heavy weight, medium weight, and lightweight as well. Anything you want to add?
It's one of those things that they don't have to include it, but they've taken that into consideration.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to be towing the full capacity all the
Absolutely.
time. A little utility trailer, I mean, just throw it on light. The car knows that you're not going to be, it's not going to be as struggling as much. So,
and it just allows it to be a little bit more of a smoother drive for the for the driver too. One of my favorite features that is such a small detail and we don't often get to talk about it is also over here where it shows the setup of the seats and the seat belts. So when the vehicle is turned on and these are illuminated, it's going to show you which seat belts are in use and which ones are not. That way, if you've got kids in the back seat and they're like, yeah, Mom, I'm buckled. No, you're not, Timmy. Put on your seatbelt, stay safe. I'm losing my mind slowly.
it happens. Welcome to
Welcome to being a parent, right?
Yeah.
I absolutely love how the cabin of this vehicle is set up. I think that this is incredibly easy to use whether you are the driver or whether you're the passenger. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that we do have real buttons. So here you're going to have navigation and media controls. Again, more of your media controls, you can customize this star button. And we also have dual climate control. So what that means is I can set the climate to however I'd like it. Wes can set his to that, or we can also sync them, which is perfect.
Right there,
Oh,
yeah.
perfect. Perfect, and you can do that with the back of the vehicle too. And in the center, let's talk about this dial. So we know that this is an all-wheel drive vehicle. We know that it's built with Hyundai's H-TRAC system, and we have dedicated drive modes and terrain modes. So let's talk about the drive modes first. We are equipped with 4. We have Comfort, Eco, Sport, and Smart, and they're all going to change the display of your instrument cluster as well. So Comfort is designed, of course, as the name implies, to be the most comfortable and perfect for everyday driving. Eco is designed to maximize your fuel efficiency. We know that this is a bigger vehicle. We know that, generally that's going to burn a little bit more. So this is going to primarily send the power from front-wheel drive instead of using the all-wheel drive system to give you a little bit better of a fuel economy. Sport mode is going to tighten up the throttle response, give it a little bit more punch when it comes to driver input, a little bit more fun to drive. And then also Smart mode is going to go and adapt pretty much to your driving habits to pretty much give you the most adaptable.
It's the most all-around driving experience
As possible, yeah. With your terrain modes, we've got 3 of them: snow, mud, and sand. And depending on the inclement situation you've gotten yourself in, pretty much using the powertrain of the vehicle, the all-wheel drive system, and traction control, it's going to help reduce any excess wheel spin or slippage that you may get in those conditions.
And it's very effective. I have yet to be able to purposely make the car lose control when in snow mode in the snow.
I was going to say the only one I've used is snow mode because we do live in Canada. Haven't really seen a lot of sand, but that's okay. This vehicle is also equipped with parking sensors, which are enabled. We also have idle stop and go. And here is your parking camera and that surround view monitor in action. So from all of those cameras, here is the full picture piece together.
Here, let me close the door. We'll get an
perfect.
accurate one as opposed.
Yeah, the car is AC. Woohoo! And then, of course, you've got your backup camera, which has dynamic guidelines. So as you turn the wheel in your reverse, these are going to shift and show you where the vehicle is going to end up. There we go. We also have different views for our camera. So if you do have a hitch and you are towing, you can easily use this camera to line everything up, which again, I think is a great feature just to have in mind. And then also you can utilize the cameras on the side view mirrors. For comfort, here's where you're going to find your controls for the ventilated heated seats and also your heated steering wheel. And check out this mega cluster, or not cluster, I guess center console. So not only do you have your changeable cup holders, you also have a USB port. Ooh, you're good.
Camera's getting away from me.
Oh, it happens. Also over here you do have a little light, which is super convenient if it is dark. And if you want it closed up to cover all of that, you simply can press down to open, and it'll slide open. Here's your center console, lots of space in there, and in there we also have another USB-C and a 12-volt. Up here is a nice little spot for change. Wes, anything else you think?
That pretty well covers it.
Yeah.
The quietness of the ride too. It's hard to really explain without actually being in the car, but it's a very, very quiet ride. You don't have to have the radio up super loud. Like, we can be driving at speed at this level of conversation and be completely
like we can hear each other.
Yeah, uninterrupted by exterior noises. And that's a long way with the little ones. You don't want that exterior noise kind of interfering with your drive too. So
yeah. I think we'll talk about what's up top and then we'll hop into the back seat. You do have a nice sunroof in this vehicle. You don't get the panoramic roof, but you still got a little something here to do the trick. And then also, again, because kids, we'll show this, you have your conversation mirror. So that's perfect if you've got adults too, but it gives you a better view of everyone who is in your seats.
Let's see if I can get it there. There we go. And it honestly is really, really effective. I took one out the other day and took the little ones with me.
Yeah.
And you know how you get that conversation where, oh, I'm not doing anything. I'm like, I'm physically watching you do this. Like,
Timmy.
Stop, Timmy.
All right, well, let's hop into the second row.
Sounds good. Okay.
I don't know at what point Timmy became my hypothetical child, but Timmy.
Yep, Timmy the hypothetical one.
So sitting in the back seat, you can manually adjust these seats. They can slide forward, slide back, but there also are, and I'm not sure, Wes, if you can show them, buttons on the top and on the bottom to move these seats forward with just a touch of a button. It can be that simple. Now in the back here, these two captain's chairs, they are also heated, and along here is where you're going to see your controls for the rear climate control. We also have a 12-volt and 2 USB-Cs with some leather privacy pockets. And the nice thing, again, if you've got kids, you have top air vents, which means you can still direct airflow even if you have a rear-facing car seat, which, essential. Oh, man. On the door, you can also, this is another one of my favorite parenting hacks, is you have the bug screen or a window shade. So sometimes I'll roll the window down, leave that up so bugs can't get in, but sometimes it's just nice to have something block the sun from my baby girl.
And it's nice that it's built in so you don't have those silly things that half fall off while driving and then they freak out and then you got to figure out a place to
you gotta like pull over, fix it. Yeah. So that's always been one of my favorite and yet underrated features. As far as space, of course, there's going to be tons of space back here. And what's nice about how this is configured is typically you have a bigger hump here in the center, but it's actually more designed to be like a step going into the third row. So you have a lot more usable leg room and flat room here in the second row. Now, if you do want to go and hop into the third row.
So that was that button there. It just kind of slides the seat fully out of the way there.
And it's incredibly easy to do.
Little step, another little step.
Yeah, and that also prevents you from tracking some mud if you're hopping here into the third row. In the back, you do not sacrifice for convenience features either. You still have cup holders, you still have a USB-C, and you are able to recline your seat, and it is power adjustable, just utilizing these buttons here. Another item I absolutely love is seatbelt clips. So if the third row is not in use and you need that cargo space, you can clip this to the side. That way it's not in the way. Also got rear air vents back here.
I hadn't even noticed that before, so.
There you go.
Learning something new as well.
I think that pretty much wraps up back here unless there's any specific questions from anyone, but let's go and talk.
Sounds good. Another spot too is a lot of people don't see is the built-in spot for the privacy shade.
Yep.
So it's nicely subtle there and it doesn't interfere as well. All right. I'll head back over this way, I'm assuming.
You got it.
You have a good amount of options.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
And flip. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry guys, that was super close to me.
All right. Usually it's like super low.
Yep.
Raise it.
I'm just gonna grab my iPad, that way I can read.
All right. Wes, I might take your mic, sorry.
Yep, no worries.
Okay. I'll share it with
Sorry
you.
about any static that approaches.
Okay, I'll hold it here. Okay, so one thing I wanted to say was the price point of this vehicle. So this one is priced at $54,899 Canadian.
Yes.
The 2024, I should say. A brand new 2024. Again, so this is the entry trim level here in Canada. One thing I wanted to point out, so the model we showed has the bench seat in the middle. Now, for $500, you can get captain's chairs.
No, this is captain's
this
chairs.
is captain's
Sorry.
chairs. This is a $500
Yes.
over the bench seat option.
Yeah.
So if you want to
option.
save $500 and get another seat, you can get a bench
Yes.
in the second row.
And that's something where I think this vehicle actually takes a huge lead compared to some of the other three-row full-size SUVs on the market, is the fact that you can get something almost fully loaded, like the 360 camera, the sunroof, the ventilated seats, at a really good price, and you can still fit 8 seats, or 8 passengers, I should say.
Yep.
Santa Fe versus Palisade size comparison. So I'm assuming you probably want the 2024 Palisade. Unfortunately, we don't have one to film yet. We did have the manufacturer car or the press car come by, but we can't do comparisons with it. We couldn't drive it, and we only had it for an hour. As soon as we get stock, we will film that comparison video
Yeah,
for sure.
I think it would be a really cool comparison, especially because there are 3 rows. The Santa Fe, I'm not sure if you guys were able to tell from the 2 videos that Gabi and I have posted on it, but it is so much bigger, and the space, it's going to blow your mind.
It's all usable space too, which is very nice to see in a vehicle with 3 rows.
Yeah, the Palisade is still a little bit bigger, but very, very similar in overall size. But yeah, they're both incredibly well-equipped vehicles, so you're not going to go wrong either way.
Samarth asked, since Wes is in today, I was trying to focus more on Hyundai and Kia-related questions, but I can't stop myself from asking this. Thoughts on Aston Martin vehicles? And I'm just asking this because Charlotte loves Aston Martin. Charlotte, take it away, girl.
Oh my goodness. So
I'm gonna have
Okay.
yeah, so Aston Martin is, you know, I feel like I can say they're one of my favorite brands because it's not like Kia and Hyundai are competitors with them. They're a little different. But I am a huge fan of just like that quintessential British race car. Like, oh, I love them. I think that their styling is great. I love a DB5.
She's
Oh,
so
she's
passionate
going.
about this. She's like,
Oh, I love
That's
it.
a DB5. Oh, interesting. Okay.
I love it. It's so beautiful.
some of their colors.
Minus their F1
Amazing.
team is
Oh.
lacking a little bit right now, and I had a tear as we ended the season.
Oh no.
But
Caesar's never heard of Aston or Martin.
Wow.
Watch some
Listen.
watch some James Bond. You'll.
Oh,
learn a
that's
lot.
another thing. Yeah, the connotation, of course, with James Bond, 2 classic British icons.
Let's see. A lot of people about the great price. So yes, amazing price. We did get asked if there's wireless CarPlay in the Palisade, and unfortunately not for 2024. Curious to see if in the refresh they will include our new CCNC software, which does support wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto,
Woohoo.
which I'm assuming they will incorporate. Let's see. Now we're on Aston Martin talk.
Finally.
Caesar asked, channel giveaways, please. So we did do a giveaway last month where we gave away 10 Kia or Hyundai jackets. We already have our winners for that, and we're picking up our Hyundai jackets in about 2 weeks, whenever the auto show is.
Yes.
So yeah, 2
Yeah.
weeks.
15th.
It wouldn't have to be a car. Well, I don't think we have the marketing budget to give away a car. Or if we did, it would be a real lemon.
It would be like a Hot Wheels car.
Yeah.
I did see something asking about if I could fit in the 3rd row.
Yeah, do you want to
and
go
that-
hop in?
Yeah, I can certainly do so, but I do fit. But I will jump in if that's.
Prove it, Wes.
Actually, you know what? Maybe you should take the mic. So you can talk about
Okay.
your experience back there.
My experience back there.
JC Golf said it would be a Ford if we had to give away a car.
Okay. So I will climb in. Now this seat back here is over. She did also slide this to the very back when we were in there. So even tucked in and at full back, oh, sorry, the headrest, I still have a good inch and a bit between that and my knees. So with somebody being a little bit shorter in front of me, I wouldn't have any problems back here at all. And it's still not a bad ride even at full back. So
You look happy.
I'm not going to complain. I have a charger too. So my phone will always be ready.
There you go. All right.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. All right, team. Let's see. Joseph
We're
said
here now.
$10. I'm assuming for the marketing budget, so we could do a car giveaway. I'm happy to say we can now finally afford.
I think that we can maybe get 2 Hot Wheels cars for that from the dollar store.
I mean, there is an EV6 GT Hot Wheels car.
Elantra
Just saying.
Elantra is back, and again, fully supporting Toyota. So why would you buy this if you could buy a Toyota Highlander?
If I were to go into a couple reasons, availability.
Oh, girl.
Girl. Nope, still male. Availability is one. The feature spec, when you go on par, dollar for dollar, what you get out of a Palisade versus the competition, not even just Toyota, you're going to get more for that dollar out of this vehicle than even the Toyota. Nissan's always kind of hot on the heels as well. But if you are interested in a vehicle of this size, the Palisade and the Telluride are both probably going to be leading the way as far as what you can get. It's just a matter of availability.
All right. Does Elantra work for Toyota? I swear, he must be supported by Toyota at this
I like
point.
that the screen name's Elantra.
Yeah, that confuses me. Ryan said, talk about the new NHL edition for the Santa Fe.
So it's an interesting unit. They're advertising it currently as a calligraphy hybrid, which at this point has only been announced in the NHL edition. The hybrids typically have stopped at the introductory, what is the preferred and the trend.
Yep, you got it.
And then the other models are all going to be the 2.5 liter turbo engine. So with them announcing the NHL as a hybrid calligraphy, it kind of gives me hope for the future specs.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's up here in Canada. If you're in the US, you actually do have access to those other trim levels. So hopefully we get them up here too. But I am looking forward to it. It's that nice ice white, I'll call it, because they're trying to mimic the ice surface. And the calligraphy, what you get in the calligraphy is, I'm excited for it. I'm waiting for mine to arrive, so.
Are the foot pedals mini skates that you slide into? JC Golf would love to know.
I will let you know when I see it in person. Unfortunately, we only have teaser video or pics at this point of it.
Does it smell like maple syrup?
It smells like
I mean,
hockey.
If you wanna order one, I'll include a bottle
Does
of
it
maple
come
syrup.
with a polar bear?
Polar bear?
Our American viewers need to know.
Canadian icons.
Yes. Okay, let's see.
Does it smell like hockey?
Ryan says we will have. I hope it doesn't smell like hockey.
Yeah, that's not a good smell.
Oh,
But
Ryan said we'll have one at the Toronto Auto Show. Awesome, Ryan. We will see you at the Toronto Auto Show.
I am looking forward to that.
All 3 of us are going to be there,
Yes.
plus Measurement Mike
Measurement
and
Measurement
Tim,
Tim.
Uncle Tim.
Tim
Yeah.
will be there. We're so scared. All right. 2000 Volkswagen smell like crayons. I heard
That's
about
facts.
That. Yep.
That's facts. My husband's family, they're all the early 2000 diesel VWs, all of
Ooh.
them. And that is facts.
It
And
is.
honestly, I love it.
Nothing
Except,
like a TDI.
honestly, every time I see those cars, at least one of them's on blocks. I'm just being real.
It's a
boy.
Volkswagen thing. It's like the check engine light shirts that they
It's
all
a
wear.
German thing, yeah. The Golfs and the check engine lights.
I still love them though.
Also, okay, another Santa Fe question. Will the XRT trim be available with captain's chairs? From what we see, it doesn't look like it's available. It's only going to be on the calligraphy trim. Captain's chairs.
It's a 6-passenger versus 7-passenger is how they're marketing it.
For the XRT, though.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
From
but-
what I saw, it's only bench. And only the calligraphy gets captain's chairs.
Okay. Like I said,
Stay tuned, subscribe to find out.
Yeah,
Tomorrow's
there's
video
still.
will be a fight. All right.
I think we're at about 35 minutes, so we should probably wrap this up. Any last minute questions?
I just want to say, View Lance would like to send a flying kiss to Uncle Tim, and I will make sure he receives. Tim! Other than that, I think that's it for today's video.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for letting us have Wes. And if you want to get into a Hyundai vehicle, or even this one, or the 24 that's coming, we want to set you up with Wes, and he will get you into it.
All right, well, thanks again. We hope to see you on tomorrow's live video. Stay tuned for more exciting Kia and Hyundai content.
See you guys.
That's all.
Bye.